Level 1. The Commuter. You are 18 when you buy a 1999 Honda Civic hatchback for $2,800. The paint is dull silver, the driver's seat is torn, and the air conditioner rarely works. You work nights at a warehouse, and the Civic saves you from taking 2 buses home at 5 in the morning. You know where the fuel and oil go. When the engine makes a strange sound, you turn up the radio. 3 weeks after you buy it, the temperature needle begins to rise on the highway. You pull over when steam comes from under the hood. A repair shop wants almost $600 to replace a damaged hose, the thermostat, and old coolant. You have $340 left after rent. That night, you watch repair videos at the kitchen table. The next morning, you buy tools, a hose, a thermostat, and coolant for less than $120. The work takes 6 hours. You drop 2 bolts and install the thermostat the wrong way the first time. When the engine starts, the temperature stays in the middle. You drive to work with the radio off and listen to the car. Level 2. The Home Mechanic. Over the next year, the Civic gives you more reasons to learn. The brakes begin to grind. One tire wears faster than the other 3. Oil appears around the edge of the valve cover. You cannot afford to send every problem to a shop, so the parking space behind your apartment becomes your garage. You change the brake pads with a borrowed jack. You replace the valve cover gasket and clean oil from the engine. You install new spark plugs, then remove them again after you learn that you tightened them too much. Sometimes you finish after midnight and still need the car for work the next evening. Your neighbor, Mr. Lee, begins watching from his balcony. He worked at a body shop for 20 years. When you make a mistake, he does not fix it for you. He asks what you forgot to check. After a few months, the Civic stops feeling like a cheap car you happened to buy. You know which bolt is difficult and which rattle means something has come loose. One night, a coworker named Jordan sees grease under your nails. He asks what you drive. You point toward the silver Civic. Jordan looks at it for a second and says there is a car meet on Friday. You tell him your car is stock. He says you can still park it. Level 3. The Car Meet Rookie. Friday night, you follow Jordan into an empty shopping center lot. There are more than 100 cars under the lights. Some have perfect paint. Others have different colored body panels and engines that sound stronger than the cars look. You park the Civic near the exit. Jordan knows people there. He shows you a turbocharger small enough to hold in one hand, a tire worn smooth from bad alignment, and brake rotors with blue marks from too much heat. You understand more than you expected. The parts are different, but the problems make sense. A man named Cole stops beside your Civic. He drives a red Acura with a loud exhaust and polished wheels. He asks how much power the Honda makes. When you tell him you do not know, he says it probably makes 100 horsepower on a good day. Later, the meet moves to a wide road outside the city. 2 cars line up. People place small bets and stand much too close. The race lasts less than 20 seconds. The winning driver collects $500. On the drive home, Jordan talks about the launch and the missed shift in the other car. You say very little. At the next red light, you press the gas harder than usual, then lift before the speed becomes serious. The Civic feels slow, and now that bothers you. Level 4. The First Race. You return to the meet every Friday. At first, you only watch. Then you practice shifts on the way to work and learn how long the old brakes need to slow the car. Cole notices that you keep coming back. One night, he asks why you spend so much time watching if you are afraid to race. He offers to run your Civic for $200. Jordan tells you to ignore him. You have $460 in your account. You agree anyway. The cars line up on a quiet industrial road. Someone stands between them with a flashlight. Your hands are wet against the wheel. When the light drops, you release the clutch too quickly. The front tires spin. Cole moves ahead at once. You catch some ground in second gear, then miss third. The engine hits the limiter while you fight the shifter. By the time you find the gear, the Acura is several car lengths ahead. You stay on the gas after the finish because you are angry. A parked truck appears. You brake hard, and the Civic moves sideways before stopping. Nobody cheers when you turn around. Cole takes your $200. He tells you to come back when you own a real car. On the drive home, you blame the tires and the weak engine. Jordan lets you finish, then tells you the car did exactly what you asked it to do. Your launch was bad and you missed a gear. You also braked too late. The Civic was slow. Tonight, you were the bigger problem. Level 5. The Civic Builder. You do not buy a turbo. You spend $480 on good tires. New brake pads, fresh fluid, and used coilovers cost another $700. Mr. Lee helps you measure the ride height before you pay for an alignment. The Civic does not sound faster. It does not look much different either. You practice in empty legal parking areas and attend 2 local autocross events. The slow courses show every early turn and wasted steering move. You remove the heavy speaker box and the tools that have been rolling around in the hatch. You add a simple intake, a better exhaust, and a mild ECU tune. On a dyno, the old engine makes just under 120 horsepower. Cole laughs when he hears the number. You race him again for the same $200. This time, the tires hold. Your first shift is clean. Cole pulls ahead on the straight, but he brakes early for a bend in the road. You carry more speed through it and leave the corner beside him. The finish comes before his engine can pull away again. You win by less than half a car. Soon, other slow cars begin asking to race you. The bets rise to $300, then $500. You do not win every time, but people stop laughing at the silver Civic. After work, you still park behind the apartment and open the hood. Now other drivers sometimes come over to watch. Level 6. The Turbo Racer. At 21, you decide the Civic is ready for more power. The turbo is only one part of the job. The engine also needs an intercooler, larger injectors, a stronger fuel pump, a new clutch, and a proper ECU tune. The parts and tuning cost almost $5,000. You install most of it with Jordan and Mr. Lee. The Civic sits for 3 weeks, and you wonder if you have ruined the only vehicle you own. On the dyno, the Civic makes 205 horsepower at the wheels. Below the boost, it still feels like your old Commuter. Then the turbo wakes up and the front tires fight for grip. You begin winning larger races. A good night pays $1,500. After one $3,000 race, people start calling you Civic instead of using your name. Your biggest race takes place on a wet road through the hills. The other car has more power, but you stay close through the first section. Rain collects near the edge of the road. Halfway down, the brake pedal feels soft. The pads and fluid are hot from repeated hard stops. At the next bend, the Civic does not slow as much as you expect. You miss the outside barrier by a few feet and enter the corner too fast. The rear swings out, and the headlights point toward the dark side of the hill. The tires catch again. You straighten the car and finish, but at the bottom your hands will not stop shaking. You have made the Civic twice as powerful, and its weak parts now show themselves sooner. You improve the cooling and brakes, then the wins return. Soon, people across the city know the silver hatchback. You begin looking for the car you used to watch online during lunch breaks. Level 7. The Skyline Owner. At 22, you buy a Nissan Skyline R34 GT-R. It is blue, wide, and almost completely stock. Under the hood is a 2.6-liter RB26 DETT inline-6 with 2 turbochargers. Nissan rated it at 280 horsepower. A 6-speed manual sends power through the Atessa ETS all-wheel drive system. The first time you park it at the meet, People surround it before you open the door. Cole asks if you sold the Civic. It is still at home. The Skyline is heavier than the Civic, but the steering is tighter and the brakes are stronger. When you launch it, all 4 tires work instead of only the front 2. Your first high-level race is against a tuned Supra. The road begins with a straight, then turns through a warehouse district. The GT-R launches cleanly and puts you ahead. You feel the all-wheel drive pulling the car forward, so you keep pushing later into each corner. At the 3rd turn, you brake too late. The front tires slide, and the Skyline runs wide. The Supra cuts inside and takes the lead. You try to recover the lost distance on the next straight, but the road is too short. You lose by 2 car lengths. The GT-R has more grip and better brakes than the Civic ever had. It also carries more speed into every mistake. Level 8. The R34 Builder. You spend the next 6 months learning the Skyline before chasing a bigger number. You replace old tires, service the brakes, and improve the radiator and oil cooling. Then you adjust the suspension and alignment until the car stops pushing wide. Only then do you change the power. Larger fuel injectors, a stronger pump, freer exhaust, upgraded turbos, and a careful ECU tune bring the GT-R to 520 horsepower. You start winning again. The Skyline beats cars that never would have agreed to race the Civic. Your name moves from small Friday meets to private races with 20 or 30 cars watching. One of those races is against a black Mitsubishi driven by a man named Damon. Damon has raced in the city for years. He does not like how quickly you have entered his level. Near the end of the race, you pull beside him. Damon moves across the lane, and his front fender touches the rear side of the GT-R. The Skyline turns sideways at high speed. The tires smoke, the road disappears from the windshield, and the concrete barrier passes across your view. The car spins once and stops facing the wrong direction. One rear wheel is bent, and the quarter panel is crushed, but the cabin is straight. Damon does not return. You sit inside the GT-R until Jordan opens the door. The next week, Damon says you lost control because you could not handle the car. You repair the Skyline and remember his face. Level 9. The City Challenger. By 24, you are one of the fastest drivers in the city. Damon is still called the Street King. His car makes more than 650 horsepower, and he has not lost a major race in 3 years. He chooses his opponents and the roads. He ignores 2 challenges from you. Then you beat 2 drivers from his crew in 1 month. Damon finally agrees to race. The plan is simple. 6 miles before sunrise, from the old rail yard to the river warehouses. The winner takes $20,000 and the title everyone already argues about. The night before the race, hundreds of people arrive at a car meet near the rail yard. Police vehicles enter from both sides before Damon arrives. The music stops, engines start, and cars force their way toward every open exit. Jordan gets into your passenger seat. A police car turns toward the GT-R, but another group of cars blocks the road between you. 10 minutes later, you stop behind a closed workshop. Neither of you speaks until the engine fan turns off. Your phone rings. It is Damon. He says the race moves to tomorrow morning. Then he tells you not to bring the Civic. Level 10. The Street King. At 4:30 the next morning, you return in the R34. There are fewer people now. Damon's car shakes at idle, and heat rises through the hood. Jordan holds the $20,000 while both cars move to the start. When the light drops, the GT-R's all-wheel drive puts you ahead before second gear. Damon's car has more power. By the end of the first straight, he begins to pull beside you. The road narrows near the rail yard. You remember your first Civic race and let Damon enter the next bend first. He brakes late to keep the lead. His rear tires cross wet paint, and the slide costs him speed. You leave the corner close behind. For 3 miles, Damon gains on open sections. You close the distance whenever the road changes direction. Near the river, a truck pulls out from a loading gate far ahead. Damon stays on the gas. You lift early. The truck slows for a wide turn. Damon misses the trailer, but enters the final corner from the wrong side of the road. You take the open line and pass him. His headlights grow larger in your mirror on the last straight. The GT-R reaches the final marker less than 1 car ahead. For several seconds, nobody moves. Then Jordan raises his arm toward you. Damon stops beside the Skyline, looks at the people around the road, and drives away without taking the money. By Friday, the blue R34 is parked in the center of the meet. Drivers who never learned your name now wait to speak with you. Near the exit, an old Civic hatchback rolls into the lot. The paint is faded, and one headlight is cloudy. Its young driver parks away from everyone else. He stands beside the car and looks at your Skyline. He does not look like a racer yet. Neither did you. And somewhere, it is starting again.